All right, round two. Let's get into it. Welcome back, YouTube, to another Digimon TCG unboxing video. If you're here from the Wargreymon video that I just did, I mean, probably didn't just do it by the time. If you're here from the Wargreymon video, then hi, hello, it's nice to see you. And if you're just here searching for the MetalGarurumon one, you want to see what the cards are, but you're also interested, slide that too far. If you're also interested in what was in the Dragon of Cards starter deck, there'll be a link below that you can click if you want to check that one out as well, after you've finished watching all the goodness that's in MetalGarurumon. The Wargreymon deck was a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool cards in it. I'm excited for the possibilities of a lot of the cards in there. Let's crack this one open, huh? Now, I feel like there's a bit of a difference between these two decks based on how they fit in the current format, because right now, obviously BT12 has the Raid Wargreymon, plus there's been a lot of support and love for him. Not that there hasn't been love for MetalGarurumon, but certainly not the same level of it. And with BT14, we get a bunch of new Agumon and Greymon support, but we don't see any new Gabumon, MetalGarurumon support until BT15, which we're not getting until like February time next year. Coupled with that, we're also not getting EX5 over here until after Christmas as well, I think. So it's a bit thin on the ground in the support. There is still ways that you can have fun with the deck just now, but yeah, I think we're waiting a good couple of months over here in the West until we can sort of really get into the nitty gritty of what MetalGarurumon is going to be able to do for us. Just like the Wargreymon deck, we get this paper playmat. It's quite cute. It's got MetalGarurumon Ace on one side and then it's got the Evo line on the other. I think these are cool. I think these are fine. Nice bits of art, but it's definitely just going to live inside the box, and I am just going to pop this in here so the box is a little bit sturdy, and that will sit on my shelf. I don't know my fruits. That's what I keep making that reference lately. I don't know why. Saw on like TikTok or something, and I'm all nostalgic about how much fun I had on TikTok like 2-3 years ago. I think that's why. Right, I'm less familiar with this one than I was with the Wargreymon deck. So I'm excited to see what shenanigans there are in here. So starting off with the memory counters, you also get these little 4 or 5 little cards, teach you all about the game, tell you about the mechanics. We're all pretty familiar with those. And then you have the little memory counters that have the Gabumon and the MetalGarurumon on that you can slide like this in your memory. When you're playing with your friend, I gotta make it work. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I like that you can mix and match these as well, obviously, because they're card sized and you can have whichever 2 of your favorite Digimon you want, or whatever. I think they're nice. I'm glad they started making them like a little bit more durable as well. The card paper ones are a bit annoying. All right, so let's get stuck into the starter deck. So we start off with Sunomon. Sunomons are Digi-Egg or Digitama or level 2 for the deck. When attacking, if you get 6 or fewer cards in your hand, draw 1. I think Melga thrives on like 8 or more, right? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I can't really remember. I've actually never played the deck, which I think is why I'm pretty unfamiliar with these cards, but also very excited for them because I feel like it's going to be a fun place to go in the future. So I'm really stoked to finally actually get to play Melga and see what it's all about. So yeah, not really much else to say about that. It looks like you're sitting on top of like a fridge or like an air conditioning unit or something. You got a Boltamon and something else, I forget his name, chilling in the background. I like Sunomon. Sunomon's a cutie. And we get 4 copies of the egg. Makes sense. Checks out. Oh my god, I was so excited when I saw in the Japanese one that we were getting this really sick Elecmon art. I love Koki, no surprise, I talk about it every time we get some Koki art on stream or on video, but this art is super sick. Look how nice this Elecmon is. On play, draw 1, trash 1 is like, it's cool, it's fine, but the art, dude, the art goes so hard. I love this. Elecumon's such a cutie as well. Really here for it. I think we're probably gonna get 4 copies of this. Yeah, if it's anything like the Greymon deck, I think you're gonna get 4 copies of everything that isn't the main line, and the main line is gonna have 2 copies. I really thought the level 5s, like the MetalGarurumon, was gonna be a 4 of, but it was not. So I'm assuming that it's going to be the same for us in here. Gabumon. Speaking of art that goes hard, man. Look at this cutie. There's so much to digest in this great freaking piece of art here. First of all, Gabumon, swag. He's stepping. Look how nice this guy is. Look how amazing he is. Secondly, the Garurumon in the reflection with the moon. Stunning. Thirdly, most importantly, Sunomon drying themselves off. I love it. This art is freaking sick, dude. This is so nice. So like the Agumon, this thing digivolves off of the Sunomon, or you know, the egg for 0. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory, start the main phase. This is really cool. You can have this in raise in, push it up, gain a memory. Feels really good. Inheritable on this thing. When attacking once per turn, draw 1 card from your deck, then trash 1 card in your hand. Draw 1, trash 1 on attack. So nice. Plays into purple. Feels good for the archetype, I think, as well, with like wanting to get things into your trash. Maintaining hand sizes. Cycling through a lot of that. Feels good. Then Tapirmon. Tapirmon? I always say this wrong. I love Tapirmon, dude. I have such a soft spot for this card. Again, Koki artwork. Let's go. Koki poke it eating well in this starter deck. The thing that I love about this, if anyone got the card game back in like 99, Tamers was kind of like a Digimon that like you didn't really know about. In the West, I don't think, I certainly didn't anyway. And getting the card, I remember that old school 1999 digital card battle version of Tamers, and I was just like, holy shit, I love this kid. He looks so sick. And every single time we've had an iteration of it, when they were in Ghost Game, amazing. What were they called? They're called like Bakamon or something in Ghost Game, I'm sure. It's something like the Japanese, well, not in Ghost Game, but like the Japanese name is different. But I love them. They're super cute. We got a little Demi-Meramon chilling in here. We got the baby in the background. I love this a lot. It's just the vanilla 2000 DP Retaliation. Easy peasy. Nice vanilla. Again, I addressed this when we were going through the Agumon starter deck. Like these cards, like they're not all going to be meta defining. They're not all going to be groundbreaking. Sometimes they just need to be good starter deck cards, and that's all it really is. Like the game's here to help people get in, teach them the mechanics of the color, have a tiny little bit of synergy maybe, but you know, the Greymon Agumon deck had a lot of nostalgia. I feel like it touched on a lot of like old effects that characters or the color stereotypically had, and it's the first time in the West we're getting something made by the new designers, I'm sure, like the new games designers. We've got the new accessibility color wheels and stuff on the cards. Obviously we're getting the ace mechanics. We've got the counter timing for the first time. They've made changes to blocker timing. So many cool things that they've done for the game now, and whilst feeling fresh, it feels a little bit nostalgic to me as well, and I really like that. All right, enough about me reminiscing. Now we get Gotsumon. Gotsumon's a level 3 with Retaliation, and your turn when this Digimon attacks an opponent's Digimon, lose 2 memory. So this is cool. This is kind of like the blocker that you had. I think it was the Toy Agumon that you get in the black deck that has blocker, and when it attacks, you lose 2 memory. Or maybe it says specifically when you attack a player. Hold up, hold the boat. So this says specifically when it attacks a player, lose 2 memory. Nice. Okay, cool. I like that distinction, because obviously if you swing into a Digimon, you're not going to lose it. But with this, you want to swing into Digimon because it has Retaliation, so this has the other effect. That's really cool. I like that. GG Bandai, I like that a lot. Gotsumon is nice. It's nice. Alright, so on to the level 4s, and then we go Bakemon. Bakemon is just a little ghost. Oh, we get a little Poyomon down here with a little love heart. Poyomon feels seen. 4 to hard play, 2 to Digivolve, just has blocker. That's it. It's a really cool card. I think it's going to be good, and kept talking about these starter deck showdown things that are happening with the pre-release weekend. I think this is just like a strong starter deck card. It might just be like a nice regular vanilla blocker to put in decks if you're trying to get people into the game. I think it's really cool. Speaking of cool cards that are sort of basically vanillas here, we've got this Meramon. I love this art with the Gazimon and the Gatomon in the background, man. Gatomon warming our pizza. Pretty simple here. Meramon, 5 to play, 2 to Digivolve, 6k DP, on deletion, gain a memory. Pretty simple. Again, I don't think it's anything terribly groundbreaking, but it's kind of cool just in this like starter deck format. And oh, we're gonna have the Garurumon stuck behind the Meramon here. So that's a common theme with these like foils. I don't know why. They always seem to get like stuck together for whatever reason. All right, then we have Garurumon. Does anyone know the video? I might edit it. So this thing's 6 to play, 2 to Digivolve, 5k DP. It's fighting Gorillamon here in the Arctic, man. We kind of have to see the digital North Pole, the digital pole. I don't know, whatever. So Digivolve's from a level 3 with Gabumon in its name for a cost of 2. Pretty standard, pretty swag. Security, you can play a Gabumon or a Tamer card with Mat Ishida in its name from your hand, or trash without paying the cost. Did the Greymon do trash as well, or is this just a Garurumon thing? It might just be a Garurumon thing. I keep stopping this video to reference things. No, this was also hand or trash. Okay, cool. I wondered if the trash was maybe a Garurumon thing, because there's so much draw 1 trash 1 in this deck, but it's kind of nice that you're going to be able to recycle with those cards. Do you know what I said in the other starter deck video that I wasn't sure if the Greymon was going to be used or not, but if we can reuse our Tamers, if they get like, you know, deleted in the field, whatever, it's maybe not a bad idea. Maybe not a bad shout. And then it has the when Digivolve and draw 1 trash 1. Pretty standard. It's the same as the rookie. When attacking once per turn, draw 1 trash 1. So these guys stack up. Kind of cool. Again, I like this with the other one, that the level 3 and the level 4 seem to have some uniformed inheritable skills, ESS, whatever you want to call them, and I think it's a nice one. I think these might be staples. I'm interested to go and check Japanese lists for like BT14, EX5 and stuff, and see how many of these starter deck cards are actually getting used, because on first glance I'm really thinking that they're only maybe going to be like a 3 of or something like that. Maybe it just depends what the rest of your lineup looks like, but maybe you just want to slam these at 4 so that you're just seeing them in security as much as possible. I don't know. All right, let's go on to 5s. So we got Pumpkinmon here. Pumpkinmon 6 to play, 3 to Digivolve, 7k DP on this kid. On play, you may play 1 purple level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its cost. Nice, that's quite good. So this kind of mirrors the Nightmon that we had in the other deck, where it's a 6 to play. You have memory setters in here, so like it's not a huge commitment. You slam down your level 5, you're in a good place to blast Digivolve the following turn, and you get to kind of recycle a level 3 that made its way into its trash. So kind of cool for a starter deck card. 4 copies. Next one we have here is Mammothmon. Mammothmon 7 to play, 3 to Digivolve, 7k DP. Blocker. which is cool. And this thing has retaliation as its inheritable, which is quite smart. I like that. I like that. I quite like the retaliation inheritable because it means if you want to like, oh no, wait, no, Melga doesn't have blocker, does it? I'm being silly. I'm being silly. I keep thinking that the whole gimmick of the Blast Digivolve is so you can block. But that's not the case. I'm just being silly, fam. Just being silly. But this thing's kind of cool. I like the art. The art goes hard, like the moon in the distance here. Like it feels cold, right? Which I think is like really cool. I prefer it when like Digimon cards have this sort of setup rather than it just being like character with like a bit of a background, but it's not really the focus. Like here something's happening and I really like that on the cards. Like all of these go hard, like the Garurumon, the Gabumon. These things. Koki ones again are fine because it's just like character with background. I like the art style. Like the Pumpkinmon is probably the one in the criticism here because it's just character with background and you're like that's fine. That's cool. It is what it is. I like these types and I like the Koki ones the most. So I think we get 4 of these. I don't know why I'm suddenly shimmying them up like this, but we get 4 copies of Mammothmon. Next in the level 5, so we've got Wargreymon. So this thing's a rare. I like the thing here. Again, this is like in the middle ground of the 2 art styles that I said I kind of loved and disliked about. I like his swishing kick here. It's quite nice. So this thing's 8 to play, 3 to Digivolve. It's 8k. Digivolve's a level 4 with Garurumon in its name for 3. When attacking once per turn by trashing 1 card in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. Nice. And then it shares the same in the inheritable. When attacking once per turn by trashing 1 card in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. I like him being able to unsuspend is nice because I think that the Wargreymon X from EX5 has a thing that lets you unsuspend on Digivolve. So like you can like attack with this guy, restand it. Hopefully it doesn't die. Swing again. Then I think you go into the EX5 one and it unsuspends itself with Wargreymons in the sources. I think, can't remember if I'm being honest, but I'm pretty sure that it's something like that. And then of course our Melga cards are stuck back of the Wargreymon. Let's pop the Wargreymon down here. And then we have 2 copies of MetalGarurumon Ace. So this guy's a 6 to play. Again, I spoke about the Ace mechanic in the last video. If you don't know what this is, the Ace Digimon cards are strong Digimon cards, not specifically level 6s. There's level 5s coming out in the next 2 main sets, but they're cheaper, stronger Digimon cards that have a drawback of this thing called overflow. So the overflow mechanic is when this card would move from the battle area or under a card to another area, lose 4 memory. So it doesn't matter. De-Digivolve, turn to hand, security stack, bot deck, whatever, doesn't matter. The only thing that it wouldn't do is if it got put under like another source or something. If it gets removed from field in any way to any other area, you lose 4 memory. So that's the trade-off here for this thing being slightly cheaper while still being quite strong. The second new thing that they've introduced in here is the counter timing, the counter mechanic, which is now between an attack declaration and a blocker declaration. So we now have a counter timing in the middle of that. So from your hand, you can counter this and you can blast Digivolve, which means one of your Digimon may Digivolve into this card without paying its cost. Obviously, the Digivolution requirements need to be met, so it needs to either be a purple level 5 or it needs to be a level 5 with Garurumon in its name. But you can Digivolve for free, which is huge during that counter timing. When Digivolving, by trashing up to 3 cards in your hand, gain 1 memory for each card trash. So this is like Hammer Spark in your hand, you know? This thing's nuts. Like I can imagine your opponent's sitting on 1 memory, sitting on 0. They want to try and get like a cheeky swing in. They've got 1 or 2 guys in the field. You blast Digivolve into this thing. You discard 1 or 2 cards from your hand, maybe even just 1 card to just pass over turn. You get set to 3 or something. I think this is really, really cool. When attacking once per turn, you may trash 1 card in your hand to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. I love these types of effects the most because if there's only 1 Digimon on the field, doesn't matter if it's the strongest level 7 in the game, going down because it's the one with the lowest level. And I love this effect. Like it just catches me out a lot, but I think it's a really, really, really cool like mechanic to try and like take down big things, right? I think it's really smart. This art's really cool as well. I never properly appreciated that you got the black MetalGarurumon in the background as well. He's kind of sick. I forget that Melga has wings, you know, like the little sword wings thing here. I always remember the shoulder pauldron boys because they've got like the kind of rockets sat next to them, but I always forget that the homie actually has wings. Such a cool card. I was definitely more of a MetalGarurumon fan when I was like a kid. Like I don't know why. I think I saw Wargreymon spoiled first when I was a child, and then I didn't know what Gabumon's final stage was going to be, and I assumed it was going to be like MetalGarurumon. So I think the fact that it wasn't, to me when I was a kid. I also loved the little like bit on his belly that has the same marking as Gabumon. The missiles are in there. Yeah, so he's cool. I like this card a lot. I'm excited to build Melga when EX5 comes out. I'm going to be that guy, and I'm absolutely excited for the new MetalGarurumon support that's in BTE 15, 16. Forget what number we're on. 13, just get 15 because 14's the Wargreymon secret and 15 is the MetalGarurumon secret. So I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be cool. Again, I've never really played this deck in any format. I've not really messed with our young lad Gabumon, so I'm excited to play with the cards and and see. And I think this starter deck's like a really cool place to start. I think you got a lot of cool cards for the current meta. Next, level 6, we got Skull Mammothmon. Skull Mammothmon looking kind of, that bottom jaw's terrifying. Like, can he shoot ribs out? Is that what's going on in the back here? You see this thing coming at the back here? It looks like a rib. Fire his ribs out. I was thinking. The skull cards just freaked me out. They freaked me out as a kid. Well, not the cards, but like the Skull Digimon freaked me out as a kid. They still freak me out as an adult. So this thing's play cost 11, Digivolves for 4. It's 12k DP, which is pretty good. When Digivolving, you draw one, trash one, and then all turns once per turn, when one of your effects trashes a card in your hand, you can play a level 4 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. I think that's okay. I think it's okay in a starter deck format. You might find that this is one of these like sleeper cards that like 2-3 sets down the line, I mean probably longer than that because Japan would have probably figured it out in their meta, but this will be a card that's just like a one-off in a deck because your main boss monster like has a way of cheating things out, and it has like a good level 4 or something, do you know what I mean? And like this ends up being like a sought after starter deck card that people want to play like 1 or 2 of in the deck to support. So I mean, I think it's okay. It works really well in the starter deck format. It's always good to have cards like this when you're doing any sort of like sealed format event card. The card's fine. I mean, like it's not great, but like as far as starter deck cards go, it's fine. Right, next we've got the new Matashita Tamer. So Mat here is 4, which again usually means it's a memory setter of sorts. Start of your turn, if you've got 2 or fewer memories, set it to 3, which is nice. And then all turns, when one of your effects trashes a card in your hand, by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. So this is kind of big with the MetalGarurumon then, because you could just use the MetalGarurumon effect to trash 1 less than you need, and then suspend the Mat, because it's all turns. So you blast Digivolve, you trash a card to gain a, or to for your opponent to lose a memory, to gain a memory, to gain a memory. Then you suspend this Mat to give yourself another one. So this feels really cool. Do you get 4 of these? You do get 4 of these. So like, again, you could have like 2 or 3 of these kids out total, and then like just pop 1 card with the MetalGarurumon to gain a memory, tap the 3 of them to gain another 3. It feels kind of big. It also gets you around the memory floodgates, because like you could trash a card in your hand to try and gain the memory with the MetalGarurumon, and then if the Melga effect doesn't proc, you could still tap the Tamer because you've discarded a card, and then you would get the memory effect. So it's very situational, but I suppose it works. All right, I wasn't so hot on this version of the card in the Wargreymon deck that had the anime thing, the anime art. Kind of said it reminded me of like the early promos, Ty's leaving or TK's crying or fucking whatever the cards are called, right? Mimi goes on holiday. It's not what it's called, but it'd be funny if it was. Yeah, I don't know. I think these cards are fine. I just feel like they don't fit with like the art theme of the rest of the cards going on. Like I said this in the last video as well, but even though the Tamers are just like the anime art, because they obviously don't have the artist up, it has like the anime trademark on it. They're still fine because like they're Tamer cards, and I think that helps distinguish them. But even with the different art styles that exist across all the Digimon cards, I think when these are in, they just, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I know some people like them, and that's cool, but I'm just not a fan personally. I don't think they're bad. I just don't like them. Oh, one of my lights died. How could you, homie? I just charged you, brother. Just charged you, brother. How are you dead? All right. Well, we're almost through here anyway, so that's maybe not the end of the world. When you got a Tamer with Matashita in its name, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. Only costs 3. I think the Wargreymon one cost more. Maybe a 4. Can't remember. Main, return 1 Digimon card from your trash to the hand. Then one of your Digimon with Garurumon in its name gains on deletion. Play this card without paying the cost until the end of your opponent's turn. This one's a lot better than the Wargreymon one. Let me go refresh my memory real quick. Yeah, so the Wargreymon one's a 4. Unsuspend one of your Digimon, and then one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name isn't affected by the... Like, I think that's fine, because like Wargreymon's thing is to like give themselves protection, right? But I just think this one's like so much better, because it's like just return a Digimon card from your trash to your hand, so you're recycling stuff because the deck has got loads of draw 1, trash 1. Then one of your Digimon with Garurumon in its name gains on deletion. Play this card without paying the cost, and it's just one of your Digimon with Garurumon in its name. It's not a level 4 or lower or anything. So for 3, like, and then the security is activate this card's main effect. I think this is ultimately better than the one you get in the Greymon deck. Honestly, I think this one's pretty good. I'd still have to really think about the application, but I feel like if you're doing Melga things and you're trying to go up your stack and you don't want it to die, but you still want to get there in the end, like you got the memory. I think this thing seems good. Maybe not great, but like it feels like it could be good. What do you think? Let me know below. And then we got Baldy Blow. What a great name for a card here. Cost 4. Main, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. It's pretty good actually. Just like again, like these these cards feel very nostalgic to me. They play on a lot of like things that I think have been lost in like a bit of the power creep. I'm not saying that purple has lost any of the draw one trash one or the retaliation or any of this stuff by any means. That's all still very prevalent, right? But like if you played the early game, if you played the first like 4 or 5 sets of Digimon, then there was just like a lot of things like this where it was like, you know, a bit of a memory cost to just kind of try and delete something. It wasn't super situational. Things weren't too, not that the game is intricate, right? The game's not very intricate. We're only just getting like cards that interact on your opponent's turn, and we're on set 13, 14 in the West. But like, I just think there's something nice and nostalgic about these cards that are just like, here's something that costs, it's not super expensive. It's probably going to end your turn, but you can just pop a 5 or lower, and it's quite easy. This thing would be nice in security, like if people are swinging in. And again, the blast Digivolution is such a big thing in this that your 5s are going to remain on the board because people want to, the gimmick is that people want to try and take advantage of Digivolving on your opponent's turn for free, right? So like hitting this in security, like probably would feel quite good. You get to pop a 5 or lower. Yeah, I think this is okay. We get 4 of those. I think the option cards are definitely better than the option cards you get in the Greymon deck. I think the Greymon option cards are like a bit meh. I think the purple ones are good. This feels a little bit more toolboxy than the Greymon one does. But I really vibe with this. Again, I might be coming in with recency bias because like I haven't really played Melga before and I'm going to, so I think I'm excited and I'm looking for the things that I can be excited about, whereas like I kind of know where I'm going with MetalGarurumon, right? Or with Wargreymon. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun to unbox and go through. I love the card art. The super rares look really nice. The Ace cards look really nice, actually. I know we've seen them. If anyone opened BT13, they were box toppers. They were nice. Mines are somewhere. I definitely have like 1 Melga and like 4 Wargreymon somewhere. But I think these are nice. I think these are chill. If you're interested in seeing what the Wargreymon deck was all about and what's involved in it, I'll drop a link below. It was also a lot of fun to open, and I'm really stoked to continue to build on this archetype. I know everyone's maybe like a bit sick of the big 2 getting support over and over, but I've not played as many of these guys. Like I only came back to Wargreymon really in the last like 2 sets. So if anyone's interested in building any of these 2, if it hits the nostalgia factor, if it hits your favorites, I think these starter decks are really cool products to pick up. Let me know below, what do you think of them? Are you picking them up? Have you played? Have you constructed already? Have you put things in? I'd love to know what you think. I'm excited to do some deck profiles. I'm excited now that I've moved. I don't think I said it at the start of this video, but like I moved house, I started a new job. Like my last couple of months have been hectic, and thanked everyone at the start of the Wargreymon video, and I'm going to do it again. I appreciate everyone still trickling in with the views and the comments and everything. It means a lot considering I've not put a video out for like 2-3 months. So I'm happy that I'm back at it. I'm happy to be making content. Got a really cool scene down here, which is awesome. I'm going to have lots of different people to play test with and try things out. So I'm really excited for future products and future deck profiles and everything. So thanks for sticking about. Leave me some love below. Let's talk about the card game, troops. And yeah, hope you'll enjoy the rest of your day. See you in the next one. I love you. Bye.